Olight PL-Mini Valkyrie, but let's come back to that in a minute, and let's talk first briefly about the PL-2 Valkyrie. This is the first weapons-mounted light that Olight came out with. I reviewed it. It's a fantastic light. When you put it on a gun, it's not a super small light by any means, but it mounts on the gun, and it mounts very easily, but you can see it's not really a small light on there. It sticks out pretty far. It's often wider than the gun. So depending on in what capacity you're going to carry this, this might not be the ideal light for you. Super easy to actuate with your thumb right there. Works great. But they want to come out with something a little bit smaller. This light was 1200 lumens. So after that, they recently came out with the PL-Mini Valkyrie. And this light puts out 400 lumens. Here's the two boxes, similar packaging, and the lights, and this is a quick comparison between the two. Let me bring in the stuff that I scrawled on here, just to give you a quick idea. So the PL2 on the left, the Mini on the right, price-wise, $100 versus $80. The original one, the PL2, puts out a whopping 1200 lumens versus 400 lumens on the Mini Valkyrie. The bigger one takes two CR123 batteries. The Mini Valkyrie has a lithium polymer battery, and I've seen the milliamp hours listed in two different numbers. In some places on the website it says 960, and at some places it says 260. I believe it says 260 on the included instruction manual, so I'm going to go with 260, and this number is wrong. So 260 milliamp hour battery. It's rechargeable, it comes with it, it's all built in, it's kind of fancy. The original PL2 is going to throw a lot farther, 235 meters versus 75 meters. Keep in mind those are relative distances. Brightness-wise, 1200 lumens and ramps down to 600, or 400 lumens and ramps down to 60, and it will do each of the bright outputs for about a minute, minute and a half, and then ramp down to the dimmer output for about an hour and 10 minutes. So that's total runtime. It just can't hold that super high brightness for that long. Weight-wise, 80 grams versus 62 grams, or for my American brothers, 2.82 ounces versus 2.19 ounces for those of you that haven't converted yet. But there's just a quick comparison of the two. Get this out of the way, get this out of the way, and let's bring in the PL-Mini. Here's the packaging. Has some of those same stats here. 71 minute total run time, 75 meters. Again, I always convert that into feet just by changing the unit. So 75 meters becomes 75 feet. It's kind of a useful distance. IPX6 rated. The Cree XPL HI LED on the back here. A few more things. Here it says 260 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery as opposed to a lithium ion battery, and talks about some of the other same things that I just mentioned. Let's get that out of the way. And let me show you the things that come with it. It of course comes with an instruction pamphlet. And then this charges a little bit different. It charges with a wireless charger similar to the other Olight chargers, but not the same. The other Olight chargers will not work on this because they reverse the polarity just to keep you from using it. This one, it mounts right to the bottom there, lights up red when it's charging and goes to green when it is fully charged. The other ones, if you try and get them near, it will actually repel just so that you don't accidentally use it because it's a different battery and different charger. But otherwise, you can charge it right on your gun if you want, and works nice and well. It also comes with two rails. Comes here first with a Glock rail mounted on its stock, although that Glock rail fits on my M&P just fine. And then comes with a 1913 rail in here with a tool for changing it and some extra screws. Looking around the light, up on the top here, like I mentioned, there's the mounting rail. On the side here, this is quick and easy to get on and off the gun with this little lever here that I'll show you in a minute. On the back, the way you actuate it is these two little fins that stick back behind the trigger guard, and you just push them down. It's a little bit different function than the original one. This one you push inward. You can go sort of down, but it's meant to go inward, and they both have a momentary and a tap to stay on. This one has a momentary, or you tap it and it will stay on. And it works the same way on both sides. So this one you can't push it in. This is strictly a push down. And I will say that these little ridges here, see them, get them in the light. These ridges are a little bit more uncomfortable on your fingers. There's kind of a view of them. They're a little bit, the edges here are a little bit sharp compared to the nice smooth edges of the original PL-2. It's a small-ish thing, but if you're going to be using this a lot, this can be just a little bit sharp on your fingers here. I do prefer the actuation of this one easier. This is just nice rubberized, a little bit of ridges compared to this one that you push down on. And then up in front here is the LED, and you can see huge difference in the size of the LEDs. So there's only so much you can expect out of this light, given the small size between the two of them. But for what you get for this, it's a fantastic light, nice and small and compact. Mounting it on a gun, flip this forward, goes on the rail here, and then flip it back, and that's it. It is super quick and easy to mount. I love how easy this is. And the nice thing about this is you can see how much of a lower profile this is compared to this one, which stuck out past the edge of the gun. So this one, Olight has partnered with some holster makers, and you can buy some holsters that will fit this with it. Using this when you're holding it, thumbs forward, you can get it this way. You can do it with your index finger, although I think that's less of a good idea. And that, again, it's a little bit sharp on your finger right here pushing into it. I prefer that they made this a little bit smoother or similar to the old style or the original where you can just push them in sideways with your thumb. But thumbs forward, you can get it that way, and it works pretty well. Size-wise, this will not go on a compact or a subcompact like an M&P compact here, because that rail is just too far forward, one notch too far forward. I believe you need 1.75 inch length here, and this is just a little bit too sharp. It would be great if they just moved this back a little bit so that you could maybe mount this on here. You can mount it there, and it would really not be a bad size on the compact even. If they just move this rail section back so that you can mount it on, it would take up a lot more guns that you could use this with, but not an option. But that's how it would look if it existed on this kind of gun. It actually does hold it there a little bit, but it will slide off the end. So it's technically not made for this, but it will kind of sit there and just kind of clamp onto the side of it that way. But again, it's not the way you're supposed to use it. Let's go have a look and see just how bright this thing is. If you need to clear a house with this light, it's plenty bright. No problems. 400 lumen is more than you would need inside a house. You really don't need the whole 1200, not a problem. Looking at the light outside here, across the street. It's bright enough for, reasonable distances. Is it as bright as 1200 lumens? It most definitely is not. So if you need to clear some far distances, get the bigger light. But for close-up distances, house clearing distances, round corners of your buildings, it is a fine option. So check out this one. Another great light from Olight, the PL-Mini. Check one out.